Even Chris Froome had no response to Alberto Contador today. For the last couple of years, he's looked a shadow of himself, but Contador has shone on this Vuelta, and finally he takes the stage victory.
It's about how much time Richard Carapaz can take. What is the gap going to be? He crosses it at 2:34. So Primož Roglic now has got 45 seconds to get there. Primož Roglic saves La Vuelta by around 19-20 seconds.
21%, it really is a hurt zone this. Nibali hits it once again. Now can he? Don't forget, he's just got to find 3 seconds here. 4 if he can. Away and Nibali goes once more in the cloud. Oh, it's almost reminiscent of his job on the Giro d'Italia. Out almost the camera, and has Nibali been taken out here as well?
No,
I don't think there was any contact with anybody. It's just gone pop. Here is Horner. What a performance by this man. As we say, 20 years separating the man who's won the stage and the man who quite possibly has just won the Vuelta. 200 metres. This is going to feel like party time. And the grimace turns into a huge grin. And the clock, watch it when he crosses the line, because this is the crucial timings. He gets the bonus as well, don't forget. There is Chris Horner. Has he just done it for the old guard?
Welcome. It's the Vuelta, Tyler Yonke, Between Two Wheels podcast, episode 401. We're cruising along. Stage 1, Torino Regia di Venaria to Navarra, 186.7 kilometers. We are in Italy. Yes, we're in Italy for the Vuelta a España. Let's take a look at the official route. How's everybody doing? I hope you enjoyed your Tour de France, and now I hope you enjoy your Vuelta. There is Spain, all dressed in red, but up here, way up at the top, is a few stages we're going to be doing. It looks like 5 stages we're going to do in Italy and nearby, and maybe cross over into France on stage 4, and then a flight down into the northeastern portion of Spain, and then we're going to cruise across the top. We're going to stay almost solely across the top this time. We're not going to go down the southern part of Spain. Interesting. How are you doing, everybody? Like, subscribe. Remember to set your notifications so that you get these actions. We're going to do today's flattish stage. We're going to look at that. Let's look at the profile actually while we're doing this. Tomorrow is a little bit more possibly GC day. We're going to preview that, and we're talking about that as well. So we got Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I fly out to Portland, and I'm there over the weekend. So I don't know how much I'm actually going to do. Am I going to take a microphone with my laptop and maybe we'll take a look. So let's take a look here. So there's Saturday. Let's see what we get. Here's Sunday. We're going to get 159.5 kilometers with a Cat 2. It'll be a little bit of a GC day. We'll talk about that. Then Monday, we're going to take some pop here and a little bit of the Cat 4. It's an individual time trial. 130, no, that can't be right. Corres IT. Why does it say IT? 134.6 kilometers. That's for Monday. Tuesday, we've got this climb. And then Wednesday, an individual time trial. So we might, a flat one, we might talk about that. Thursday, we're going to have to talk about this then. Thursday, Friday, we got to talk about some of these Friday. Saturday, I do fly home on Saturday, and Sunday we definitely will do. You know what? That's it. I'm taking my microphone up there and camera, and we'll do a quick show. Maybe my son will pop on with me to talk about that. Okay, so let's go to stage 1 here, and look. We'll do this, and then we're going to look at the teams that are there. Okay, we'll take a look at that, about the start list and who's all involved and whatnot. But I thought, first of all, we're just gonna take this right as it is. Here is the break gets established 114 kilometers in. You guys like Vinokurov, and I think that's Alexander Vinokurov's son. It's riding for the same team, and Varkea, and then another rider joins him. One of these riders, I think, is Israel Premier Tech, takes the KOM, and then you have some other riders, just sprint points back here. It was pretty much, as you would expect, a sprint day. Things come together in the 40 kilometers or so to go, and then UAE's at the front. You have Visma Leasebike at the front as well, controlling things, not for any other reason than for you have a sprint coming up, and they want to make sure Jonas for Visma, Jonas is up there and in position. And there's not, look, the Vuelta is unique. I don't say unique. It's just usually climby style, right? So a sprinter that comes there either can get over a climb, and we saw there was a Cat 4 climb early on there. The sprinters are either going to be able to get over the climbs, or you're just not going to bring a full sprint team. And Alpecin de Koenig actually brings Jasper Philipsen. Remember, he crashed out in the green jersey. He had won I think the first or so stage of the Tour, gets the yellow jersey at a time. It passes it over to Matteo, his teammate. And then he crashed out, and he had a lot of opportunities there to win. So he comes into this race and he's got a decent team, but not all these teams come with full-fledged sprinters. So it's a unique opportunity for some of these sprinters to rack up some stage wins, and some other ones to maybe get in there. So we'll see how those things go, right? Now, it is interesting, and we're going to talk about the GC coming up here in a little bit. But anyway, these two teams are getting up here. They're just simply doing it to protect their team. Israel Premier Tech is getting up there in the mix as well, 19 kilometers to go. But Alpecin de Koenig, they didn't really hit the front. They just let the Visma Lease Bike control things for the most part until you get into the last 3 or so kilometers. And at that point, really, then they pull off, and then boom, you're off the front. Eddie Plankert comes to the front here. Rickard comes to the front, looking at for Alpecin de Koenig in the last 1K here. Alpecin de Koenig really is ramping things up. Postal tries to come over there. Pedersen is there for Trek, and he kind of loses it. I think he lost some of the positions around one of these roundabouts. You can see Jonas here at the far right, our right, kind of just sitting up here. Alpecin, though, it's perfect lead out for Jasper. He hits the front. It's a little tricky coming around here, but he easily holds on to the finish here. There you go, over the line. A bike link plus over the other riders. Easily gets a win. I didn't see any big, crashes, wrecks to have to worry about, but Jasper does a good win here. Israel Premier Tech rider, a Movistar rider up there at the finish here, and there you go. So let's take a look here at the actual results. Victor's in the chat, Between Two Wheels podcast. Thanks for coming in, Victor. We are here for you, hopefully every day. There you go. Jasper Philipsen with the win. Ethan Vernon of Israel Premier Tech in second place. Orlias Arlar of Movistar. Ilya Viviani of Lotto comes in for fourth place. Ivan Garcia Cortina of Movistar in fifth, so they get two guys in the top five. David Gonzalez of Q36.5. Brian Cockard, remember him in the Tour, he's the one that actually crashed out Philipsen. For Cofidis coming in sixth. Guillermo Silva for Caju Real in eighth. Tom Pidcock, Q36.5 in ninth place. So which kind of makes you think, oh, what's going on here? Ben Turner in 12th. Edward, like I said, Plankert was up there. He was the lead out guy. Still gets 13th. That's how much they blew everyone out. Mads Pedersen in 14th. And let's just take a look here at the Americans in the race here. Matteo Jorgensen, 45th. They all get the same time, though. Kevin Vermark, Postal Picanel, Sepp Kuss, Matthew Riccatello, Sean Quinn, and Magnus Sheffield. So a good contingent of Americans. I'm actually impressed there. One rider that I did notice here that actually sat up here coming in, Jay Vine, not hurt. I think he just sat up at 3:28. Look for him tomorrow. That's definitely a guy that sat up trying to get a stage win in the books. So the GC goes to Jasper Philipsen, and the points jersey goes to Philipsen. He did win this point sprint. Alessandro Vere, he was the guy up there in the break for Arkea BMBA. The youth goes to Ethan Vernon and the team. Q36.5, two guys up there. I guess they probably had a third guy up there. Movistar was close as well, and so was Alpecin de Koenig. Okay, what I want to do here is go to the start list. And first thing we're going to take a look at is the different teams here. But what I want to do is just take a look at the sprinters. Okay. Jasper Philipsen's here. Mads Pedersen. Mads, we've talked about him. These two, Milano San Remo for Jasper Philipsen this year. Mads Pedersen, no slouch, did some good work early on this year. He could definitely get up and over some of these climbs. Ben Turner for Ineos. He's Brian Coquard. We've talked about him. Jake Stewart for Israel Premier Tech. Axel Zingel for Team Visma. I did not see him in the works at all today. At least trying to get up there. I think that team's focus is mostly for Jonas, but it will be interesting to see. Pidcock, is he really a sprinter? No. Ilya Viviani. Anyway, so you got a decent amount of sprinters there in the first case. Okay, so let's go to the start list here, because I'm just going to walk my way through it and talk about some of the prime riders here. Jao Almeida, Juan Ayuso for Team UAE. Those are the two GC riders. Remember, Jao Almeida, he's done some good racing already over his career. Let's take a look. What is he? I know he was up there in the Giro a few years ago. Basque Country, Tour Swiss, Tour Romandy, Tour Poland. But not has he podiumed a Giro? He's got a Giro. Has he podiumed a Giro yet though? A Grand Tour yet? I don't think he's necessarily done that. Juan Ayuso, he lived in Florida for a few years, but he's a Spanish rider. Mikhail Berg, Felix Großartner, Doma Novak, Eva Lovero, Mark Soler, and Jay Vine. Decent team for that group there. That will be interesting to watch those and see if Juan Ayuso and Jao Almeida can coalesce together. They've had trouble. Last year's Tour de France, there's some little problems here. And I've seen it's really interesting. You got Tadej, and when Tadej rides, everyone is all over for him. But when these other riders go, they seem to have some problems. You've said Christensen, I think that's a rider that's a new one this year. He's attacked in weird situations that have had bad things for their team. Ayuso, Del Toro, those guys, I've seen some weird team stuff coming from them. I think Jao Almeida is one of the more solid teammates, and he could be very formidable for this race. But let's just be honest. Jonas Vingegaard is the outright, because he and Tadej are the top two in the world. He comes here. Tadej is not here. Remco is. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, you got this. Look at this. Alex Zingel, okay, decent. Victor Campenaerts, who saw what he did in the Tour de France. Matteo Jorgensen, I think you're going to see a different Matteo in this race. Wilco Kelderman, solid mid climber. Sepp Kuss, we know he's won the Tour, the Vuelta in 2023, and been just, he had a really good Tour de France. Ben Tulet, another good rider, and Dylan van Barle. So I think as far as teams go, hands down, Visma Lease Bike on paper, they are the team with the rider to beat. That's just what it is. Little trek here, go with Giulio Ciccone. I'm excited for him. Just what was it, Lombardia or San Sebastian? I think he won. Looked very good there. Took on Del Toro and Ayuso, dropped them, I think that's who both were. He also won another race. Been looking very good. It'll be tomorrow, I think, is the prediction. It would be great for him. Movie star Pablo Castillo, perhaps. I mean, he had a good Vuelta last year. Other than that, it's just a stage hunting for those guys. Red Bull, Jai Hindley, he's won the Giro before. Look for him if he's in good position. But who there? Matteo Sobrero, he goes to his hometown tomorrow over there in Italy. That'll be good. Giulio Pellizzari, he's been riding well also. So Finn Fisher Black, actually a decent team for Red Bull if Jai Hindley is in the mix here. That will be something to watch. Mikel Landa, he comes here for Pseudo Quick Step. They don't have Remco listed here, but I swear I saw him on the results today. Now we got to go here. Vuelta results. Oh, geez. Where's this going on here? Okay. Probably teams Sodell Quickstep. He's not listed. Okay, what did I see? I saw something today and it said Remco. So that makes more sense. Okay. Now I feel better because I'm like, why is he here at this race? Okay, so he's not there. Mikel Landa, we'll see. He crashed out of the Tour. We'll see how he's going. Max Schachmann. I see Mikel, and he even said he's going for stages. So look for them for stages. Ineos Grenadiers, Magnus Sheffield. He is, you wouldn't think of him as a climber, but I think they are coming into this race, probably two, just like they did with the Tour, trying to get stage wins. But I think there's a chance that Magnus Sheffield is going to try to do a top 10. And it would be, because I've seen him, Paris, I think it was Paris-Nice, a few other races, he's actually looked pretty good. It'll be interesting there. Bob Jungels, Filippo Ganna, Egan Bernal. I mean, okay, it should be Egan Bernal. Take that back, what I'm saying here. Kwiatkowski, a decent team there for them. I want to see Egan Bernal coming back to his form of old. That would be good. Philipsen is the leader there for the Alpecin Deceuninck. They are there for sprints, and they should be able to get them. Esteban Chavez, I mean, days of old, sure, but Sean Quinn is at least in there. That is, he's a good rider for the Americans. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Markel Balaki, I think that's Josep Balaki's son, I want to say. Decent for EF, but, good luck for them. They're going to have to do above and beyond what they did in the Tour de France. Felix Gall, coming off a good Tour de France. I will be very interested to see how he does, especially with these climbs. This should be able to suit him. Callum Scotsman also for decathlon. Bruno Amray, look for him to get into some breakaways. Tom Pidcock, I don't know what his plans are, but he definitely could be, tomorrow would be a day to look for him to maybe get the win, because he was in the top 10 there today, 9th place, which means he may be able to get into the red jersey tomorrow. Taberi, the cat guy, look that up. Santiago de Buitrago for Bahrain. Finlay Pickering took in for, I'm trying to remember his name, Damiano Caruso, who broke his hand, I guess, slipped in the bathroom. These guys, this should be Jack Haig. This is a decent team here for Bahrain. Look for them for getting a guy in the top 5. Things break just right. You never know about Taberi or Buitrago actually in the podium there. Same with Tejada. You can always pop him up there. Sigurd Higuita, he's just going to be a strong man to help, as is Wout Poels. Look for them getting in the break tomorrow. Groupama, David Gaudu. I mean, really, Stefan Kung for the time trials. Guillaume Martin, I've just seen breakaways. Gaudu had chances a few years ago, but I just think that's melted away. Caio Real, look for them for breaks, but that's about it for them. Ben O'Connor, last year's kind of luck guy, which he went up there was stage 6, much like Sepp Kuss had done the year before, 6 or 8, one of those two, gets a big gap, gets in the red, and then has to hold on. And Sepp Kuss was able to do it in 2023, but Ben O'Connor wasn't quite able to hold on against a raging Roglic, who's not here this year. Chris Hoppe, he's a good, they have Eddie Dunbar. There's a good support group here for Ben O'Connor. So I do look for him to, coming off a good Col de la Loze day at the win at the Tour de France. Arkea, just stage race hunting there for that team. Cofidis, they do have Simon Carr. It could be interesting. But Jesus Urata, he climbs well, but you're really just looking for, Brian Cockart in the sprint, trying to get one for him. Intermarché, you want Louis Menches, there's about your only chance, and then some stage hunting. Team Picnic Postal and L. Kevin Vermark, he has been close a few times. I would like to see him get a stage win, because that's really what that team is going to be doing here. Unless Chris Hamilton is able to pull something off, I don't see that team going much more than maybe Chris Hamilton in the top 10. Burgos, stage hunting. Lotto, some stage hunting and maybe some sprints. But other than that, and then Israel Primertech, George Bennett, once had won the Tour of California, once kind of vaunted up here. But, really, Matthew Riccatello, he's won a stage race this year. He looked really good last year in this race for a while. Get him a stage win would be nice. I'd also like to see how he does. Interesting fact about Israel Primertech, which is Derek G. He's quit. He looks like he's going to be he was supposed to be riding for Israel Primertech for the Vuelta, and then they suddenly said no, and then looks like he's trying to cancel his contract and go into Ineos. And by the way, Jacob Folsong, who just retired with them, he just made a statement saying, yeah, it's nice to go riding my bike with not having to have Israel on my back. I'm like, yeah, no shit. It's probably, I don't know, different parts of the world it might be worse or better, but I don't know if that was Derek G's issue. There's a little war going on over in the Middle East and some nastiness. So, Israel, I don't know. Would you be riding for them at this point? Who knows? So that's the teams breakdown. I'm not real impressed with the sprinters. As far as the GC goes, I mean, this is Jonas Vingegaard. You need to just destroy everybody if that's his whole thing, and see where that plays out. Okay, so as far as stages go, there was today's. We talked about that. This will go tomorrow. This is just pretty much flat, and then it comes up this last bit. It's 10 kilometers or so, the last pitch up to the finish here, 9.9. It's pretty much averages at 5.2%, but those last few kilometers, there are some like 7 and 8. So that will be interesting. I didn't think a sprinter just, can get up there. And that's their breakaway. We saw this with was a Johnny a few years ago for Ineos, but I don't think you're going to be able to necessarily have that. And it's probably going to be kept together, especially with this profile here, until the last bit. And then you're going to see some sort of GC battle. Maybe Jonas is going to get up there. But I really do think a Pidcock type is the one, or Jay Vine. He's going to try to get up there in the break. All right, we got Tom out here. He says, Miss Quinn Simmons out front, hair flying. Did Trekella and Mads miss him too? Missed out on the sprint. Yeah, I think they did. Well, good point. He had a really good Tour de France. That I think this team did miss out on with him. And let's take a look here at Trek once more. Okay, so here's the Trek team. Baggioli, Julian Bernard, Giulio Ciccone, Emmanuel Gerben Graziabario, I don't know, Dan Hull, Soren Craig, Anderson, Mads Pedersen. So yeah, they just don't have the experienced team coming in here, and you definitely don't have someone just taking charge like you did with Quinn Simmons. So quite possibly missing something out there, and Mads is gonna have to get his shit together. Enjoyed the sprint for the KOM jersey, nice. Yeah, so evidently they didn't even have that picture, or it was either that one or I think that was the one. They showed it from the start. So who are you guys watching? So Peacock has it. Okay, I also have Flow, which I watched it from with the Canadian VPN. Watched it for the tour, and I'm watching it for this. I can't do Christian Van de Velde and Bob Roll. Okay, it's not happening. Sorry, those are two people I'm not going to be able to listen to. So I have it on the TV, but I have it muted. And then I was trying to listen to the Flow one. I wasn't enjoying that one very much. So I actually went over to cycling.tv with a VPN, and it's a pirated thing. At least pirated the Euro feed. So I had that going for me. There you go. Remco is leaving Soudal and going to Red Bull Bora. That's the news for next year. We'll talk about the transfer market maybe a little bit coming up. But tomorrow, stage 2, it will be a GC day. Wake up, watch it, be interested, be prepared for some fun, because that's really what we have going on for at least first few days. This first week is going to be smashing, people. Smashing for the Tour de France. For the Vuelta. Be interesting to see, because we're going to have a little bit of action there. All right, till tomorrow. See you.